Dis After Dark Podcast is sponsored by Unofficial.com, the home of Halloween Horror Nights news and rumors all year round. Find us on the web at www.hhnunofficial.com. So stop the fog machines and clear the cobwebs. It's time for another episode of the podcast that's nearly the same as all the others.
Wendy Presser at Magical Journeys Travel is proud to be a sponsor of the After Dark Podcast Network. Whether you've been to Disney 1 or 100 times, there's still lots of planning involved. Let Wendy be the one up at midnight when your window opens to get that Be Our Guest reservation or that coveted Anna and Elsa fastpass for your own princess. Mention that you heard this ad on one of our podcasts and get $25 off your deposit with any trip package. Be sure to ask about her generous onboard credits for Disney Cruise Lines as well. Find her on Twitter at WPMagicJourneys or WPMagicJourneys.com.
Warning. This show contains childish adult content and is intended for immature, mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. The views spoken are ours and ours alone, not those of any other bugger. If you're easily offended, we strongly suggest finding another podcast. Everybody neat and pretty, then on with the show.
Good evening or afternoon or morning or whenever you listen to this, and welcome to Dis After Dark. I am Nick, and joining me as always, but it's not always the same people. But this week we do have Mr. Craig Lucas.
Hello!
We have Miss Boston White Amanda.
Hi.
And the man, the myth, the legend they call P-Dubs, Mr. Paul Washington.
Welcome.
I felt like Chris Ripley was with us then when Craig said hello.
Oh, Chris Ripley, where are you? Come in, Chris Ripley. Your time is up.
If he turns up on UOP this week or DisneyBrit, I'm going to kick off.
Oh, yeah.
They need the ratings, both of them. So, we've got a few things we want to talk about, but actually, you know what? Let's start the show off as we start the show off every time with a round of what's everybody drinking. Mr. Lucas, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Bud Light, and I've got an old Putney whiskey chaser.
Holy cow, this could go really, really horribly wrong tonight.
We thought that last time, and the last episode did really well, so...
That is actually quite true. That is actually quite true.
Oh, that hits the spot.
Mr. P-Dubs, what are you drinking?
Well, my training plan for the Bibbity Bobbity Challenge at Disneyland Paris begins tomorrow, so a glass of water.
Glass of water. I did see that you mentioned that, and I have seen the medal for the Bibbity Bobbity Run, or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
If only I was available that weekend that event's happening. I'm not sure what I'm doing that weekend, but I'm sure I'm busy that weekend, so no, I'm not going to be able to join that event this year. Amanda, are you drinking tonight? Or are you still recovering from your trip?
I'm still really recovering from my trip and from being sick, so I'm having a cup of tea, but I'll pretend that I'm cool if you want and say that I'm drinking Bud Light.
Excellent.
Cool.
No one would have heard that and will believe you're drinking Bud
I'm
Light.
drinking
Don't
Bud
tell anyone.
Light.
Yay!
And me, hang on. That is me opening my can, also of Bud Light. So, chin chin.
So can we pretend that this show is sponsored by Bud Light?
No. I mean, we could do, but where's the fun in that?
It is the best American lager.
Bar
none.
Well, it is. But if someone wants to pay us, then that will be soon rectified. But we're going to try and do something. Now, this could go hilariously wrong. And because I don't like editing, I'm going to leave it in. But at the moment, as you would have heard from the little bonus episode we released last week, Mr. D is currently still in Disney World. And actually, to be exact, at this moment in time, we know exactly where he is in Disney World because he's in Pandora. Not the shop in Disney Springs, by the way, which is where he thought he was.
Night.
That's
He
where
was
he
in
thought he
there
was.
last night.
Yeah, and our Paul donuts to you. But he's actually in the Wizarding World of Pandora. Is that what it's called? The Wizarding World of Pandora? Let's say it is. So he's there now, and he's actually already been on the flights. What's it called? Flight of Fantasy?
Flight of the Hippogriff, something.
What's it called, Dubs? Flight of
Passage.
Passage. Not Back Passage, Craig. So we know he's been on that already, and we know what his views are on it. And I think he's recorded some audio for him. But the silly sausage has only put himself online, hasn't he? So we're going to now try and see if we're going to call him and see if he answers the phone. And hopefully he's not on a boat ride.
Pretend to be a policeman, right? And his house is burnt down.
You do know.
It's going to say Nick.
Yeah, you know when it pings up on his phone, it does say who's calling.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be like Beatles About. Watch out, Beatles About.
Unfortunately, both my hands are the same size. Google it. You know what? I didn't even realise his hands were not the same size until he died.
I always thought one hand... What, did you go to the funeral and they had like a little hand sticking out?
Yeah, it was an open casket and his little hand was waving.
Oh, I always used to think one hand was just dead far away.
You mean like Father Ted and the cows? Right,
Yeah.
Let's see what happens when we try and speak to Mr. D all the way over in Pandora. Let's see if this works.
This is just so dramatic.
It's this could be the first podcast recorded in Pandora if it happens.
This is literally the first podcast recorded in Pandora if it happens. Have you just said that?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Watch out, Beatles About. Watch out, Beatles About. You better watch out.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Hey!
Mr. D, you are live. You are live on Dis After Dark.
I'm
Please
talking
do
to you
not say
live.
fuck or bugger. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm talking to you live from Pandora, from the planet of Pandora. And I'll tell you something else. I was just in the process of sending you a picture of me with my sex tail on.
I just got it. It's so funny.
Oh, that is a sex tale.
Yes.
Now we're not.
I know how much you wanted to see that, Craig.
He's always wanted to see your sex towel. Oh, that picture is my new wallpaper. I don't need to have my kids on my wallpaper anymore when I can have that. That's glorious.
Well, yeah. That's front cover of Playboy next month, definitely, or even centerfold.
Now, Mr. D, we appreciate you're in Pandora, and I don't want to take up too much of your valuable holiday time. But just a few words, would you like to tell us what your experience has been like so far?
So far, okay. We've been on both rides. It's an annual pass holder preview. They've done a great job of managing the crowds because both were walk-on. So we did the flight Passage of Flight. We did that twice. Absolutely stunning. It's like soaring on crack cocaine. It's absolutely amazing. We also did the boat ride, the Navi boat ride. Very good, very clever. Lots of good technology. You know, nice ride. Not an e-ticket, I don't think, or not. You know, not the kind of thing you'd want to go on again and again and again. However, having said that, we're just about to go on it again. And then the land itself looks fantastic. They've done a fantastic job of it. Enormous. There's a place to eat. There's a little snack stand, and then there's a big shop at the end of the flight ride. So they've done a fantastic job. The place looks awesome. The theming is amazing. I think it's going to draw big crowds, definitely, to the Animal Kingdom. And between that and the Rivers of Light nighttime show, which we can talk about next time I'm back, because we went to see that for the first time, I think it is more of a full partner. Is it a Potter killer? Don't know. I think the flight ride on its own beats any other Potter rides as an individual ride. Okay. But the whole thing versus Potter with the 8 books and the Fantastic Beasts and the stories and the characters and all of that, I don't know. I think given that Potter's a little bit old now and this is brand new, it's going to be good for Disney. But I just got to say, if this is what they did with Avatar, I can't wait for Star Wars Land. It's just going to be enormous.
Wow.
So
what Jim Hill is saying, Paul, is that Pandora, a lot of the stuff in the land is going to be coming up in the next films.
Right. Okay.
So they future-proof themselves, basically.
Right. Okay.
So it might have a bigger draw later on once the new films come out.
Yeah. That would be good because obviously there is only the one film and it wasn't a Disney film, was it? We've talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as a visual treat, just like the film, actually, if you think about what the film was when it first came out, it was a big 3D visual treat. And this place is the same, really. And that ride, the flight ride, is just breathtaking. We went on it, we both came off it, said, quick, let's get back on it again. So yeah, we're like 2 little kids in a sweet shop. So yeah, I'm just gonna play with my Navi tail a little bit more because I'm enjoying myself. And then we're gonna go and ride the river ride again, and I think they're gonna kick us out then. They're gonna kick us out at 5 o'clock. So we've had 3 hours in here, and it's been good. I will talk about the dining when I get back. The dining, they have a canteen here, which we've just been in. We didn't eat, but because we'd stuffed ourselves in Boma this morning. Made a big mistake of saying, oh, you don't do zebra domes anymore. And she said, well, we can fix that. She brought a huge plate of zebra domes. Well, it would have been rude not to eat them. So we didn't eat, but we did go in for a drink and took some pictures and had a look around. And the food looks really good quality for a quick service. And I think that's a theme. I think Disney are definitely upping the quality of their quick service meals. I don't know if quick service dining plan is taking over more from the regular dining plan, but that's certainly something we noticed. So more to come on that one.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Mr. D. Send your regards to your lovely wife and daughter, and we look forward to hearing more from you when you're back in the UK.
Yeah, and can't wait to see the new vlog, which I've seen the messages on that, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But sounds like it's great, so I'll be looking forward to watching that as soon as we get back to the hotel. But great talking to you guys. You too. Enjoy the rest of your holiday, Mr. D.
Thanks, Paul.
Take care.
Bye.
See you soon. See you, Craig. See you, Amanda.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
Oh, speechless.
First call from Pandora. Amazing. What I was going to say, I didn't want to interrupt him anymore, but what I was going to say was him talking about the 3D spectacle of Avatar reminded me of one of my favourite quotes when Avatar came out. Somebody on Twitter had seen it in 3D and remarked about how great it was, and then said, I wish life was in 3D like Avatar.
Oh, that wasn't your wife, was it?
You know what? Surprisingly not. Even she's not that stupid when it comes to saying stupid things. But yeah, that was quite remarkable. But well, that's good. I'm looking forward. I know he's recorded some audio for us as well, which we'll push out probably on the next show. But yeah, it was definitely good to hear some for the first time views of Pandora.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Have you listened to Jim Hill's podcast?
I have not listened to Jim Hill's podcast.
He was extremely complimentary about it, and Len Tester is extremely complimentary about it. And although they're not saying it's a Potter killer as such, they're saying the technology employed in there is better than Potter.
I wonder if I don't know about the land around Animal Kingdom, but I wonder if it is a massive success, if they would be able to actually expand it if it required it.
Len Tester prefers Avatar to Potter because his thing was some people are city people, some people are countryside people, and he's not really a Potter fan. He appreciates Potter, but he hasn't read the books. He hasn't, he just dips his toe in whatever. But Pandora is absolutely stunning.
My main concern, and that's why I asked that question, is there's only 2 attractions. And we found with Harry Potter, when that first opened up, Hogsmeade has 3 attractions, doesn't it? It had had Hogwarts Castle, it had the Flight of the Hufflepuff, or whatever it was called, and the Dueling Dragons Challenge makeover. So I had 3 attractions there, and they obviously expanded that over to London. So what do we think?
I'm happy, because on the other side you've only got 2 attractions. You've got the train and Escape from Gringotts.
And I believe Star Wars Land's only going to have 2 as well.
Yeah, that's about par, I think. The touring plans have given them a solid 3.5 to 4 out of 5. So they're not e-ticket attractions, although everybody is coming off this Flight of the Hippogriff thing and are just blown away by it.
It definitely seems to be the one that people are raving on about. I mean, I've not had too much negativity about the boat ride, but I think it's a bit tame.
The boat ride is supposed to be quite intimate, because you're supposed to be getting into woven boats that have been built by the Navy, not getting into a big 24-seater Pirates of the Caribbean boat. So there's only a limited number of seats. I can't remember how many, whether it was
6 to 8, isn't it? I can't remember.
Is it?
Yeah, they're very, very small.
I haven't looked at anything to do with the rides, I'll be honest, because and I think I've done a good job so far of avoiding it, because I do just want to be surprised when I get there. So I've seen, obviously the pictures of around Pandora, but I've tried really hard to not look at anything to do with the rides.
I mean, I had a conversation with Jim Hill the other day, and it was, I asked him if I could quote it on the show, and we are planning to get him back on the show. Where is he? Oh, little Jim Hill, we love you so. Just mentioning Jim Hill, there's an extra 1,000 people going to listen to this show now.
If they sign Jim Hill, it'll be fun.
Yeah, let's have a
Dis
go.
After Dark, whatever number it is. Quoted by Jim Hill. That's the title.
Yeah, there you go. It's Soaring on Acid, and Jim Hill's mentioned. It's, what did he say? Feel happy. Oh, it's beautiful, it's wonderful designed, it's got amazing detail, but in the end, it's not going to do for Disney what Potter did for Universal. Think about it, The Wizarding World is based on 8 movies and 7 books. Avatar is based on 1 film that everyone sort of remembers. In the end, as you walk through Pandora, you have to admit it's beautiful, and you don't feel anything like the connection to the characters and the films and the stories like you do in the Wizarding World. So that's Jim Hill. Just to be sure, you don't have to go into it with high expectations, because as lovely it is, Pandora doesn't deliver the way as the Wizarding World does. Star Wars, on the other hand, could be a real game changer. He also believes there's no beastly kingdom ever. Mm-hmm. That's gone. And as for the Moon of Endor, you have to remember the Avatar deal was signed in September 2011, and Disney only found out George Lucas was serious about retiring and selling off Lucasfilm in 2012. So giving Endor a Pandora-like treatment was never a consideration. Besides, where would you find that many little people to fully populate the land? I'm
available.
I'm available. Just chop my legs off. I'll be an Ewok.
I'd say Newcastle. But it's a good point. It's a good point. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know Jim knows, he's got more fingers in pies than we have, but, do we really think if Star Wars Land is a runaway success, and I think everyone thinks it will be, do you not think they're trying to incorporate it into other parks? And if so, Animal Kingdom is the best fit for something like Endor. You know, I just think that it's got legs.
They're definitely going to expand. If this one does well, then to be fair, it could fit in any of the parks. But as you say, Animal Kingdom is definitely viable for that kind of environment.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, it doesn't have to be Animal Kingdom. It just, that to me is the best fit based on what the park is about. I think it's a shame about Beastly Kingdom, but at the same time, is anyone really surprised? I mean, that was a project that's now 20 years old.
Yeah.
Over 20 years old.
They moved on as well, didn't they? Because they started looking at a fifth gate being a villains park, which they went bigger, and that still didn't happen. So I can't ever see them looking at something like that now.
Yeah, I'm with you there. One of the great lost things that we'll never see. I know we saw elements of it at Islands of Adventure, but that original Beastly Kingdom plan was pretty spectacular, if you ask me.
Are you into Star Wars at all, Amanda? Are you excited for Star Wars Land?
I mean, I've watched a couple of the films now, and I like them. They're good. I don't think I'm ever going to be the biggest Star Wars fan, because I think I've maybe came onto Star Wars a little bit too late. But I'm excited about the Star Wars Land.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever be too late to Star Wars. It's timeless.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm watching them and I'm thinking, yeah, they're really good films, but there's films that I like an awful lot more.
Where have you started?
Well, I started watching episode 1, and then I wasn't into it, and then I went in a different direction and watched Rogue One. So I was planning on starting from there. So I've watched those two now. I like Rogue One. It's good.
Yeah, I think if you start, I mean, you've done the right thing in going with Rogue One, and then if you do machete order, which is 4, 5, 2, 3, 6, 7, that's a pretty good order to watch them in.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Completely
but I am still
bypass
excited
one.
about Star Wars Land now. I think it's going to be dead good.
Yeah.
Are you excited for Pandora?
Yeah, I am. I'm really excited for Pandora.
I am. I'm so excited for Pandora. I literally can't wait to get lost in there. It's meandering. You don't just walk in. There's little paths, very much like what Animal Kingdom is. You can just get yourself lost in there, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Like, usually I tend to spend maybe 3 hours at Animal Kingdom tops.
Correct.
And that's realistically, it's my least favourite Disney park. Even though I love animals and I love everything to do with that, I just feel like the park doesn't offer enough for me.
Yeah.
So correct. I tend to just go and ride Everest and the safari and then I'll leave. So if this is going to keep me at Animal Kingdom for a little bit longer, I'm all for it.
We're giving Animal Kingdom 2 days this year.
Oh, yeah.
Blimmin' heck.
Yeah. Well, you've got...
I'm not going that far.
Well, they're not 2 full days. I think from what I can remember, it's like a bit of a lie-in, bit of a lazy morning, and then we're heading in. And then on the other one, because you've got to see Avatar in the day and the night, and then we've got the dining package for the Rivers of Light dining experience thing. So, we'll be given 100% more time to Animal Kingdom this year, and that's what they're hoping for, isn't it? Because I'm very much like you. Get in, do Dinosaur, do Everest, maybe do the boat ride, baby. Go and do the safari if I have to, but it's rubbish. Animals just don't do anything. They just sit there. And then we get off. The Nemo show and the Lion King show, they're something we do every few years, not every year.
Yeah, same.
We're just on the same wavelength, Amanda.
I know, we're such brain twins.
Brain twins.
Yeah.
I have to agree. The last time we went, we did 12 days in Orlando the last time we went, and we spent maybe 2/3 of a day at Animal Kingdom tops. So they want to move people from the other parks, don't they? Certainly from Hollywood Studios, they want people to move over. So, and that's what Pandora will do for now.
Honestly, though, I know that the studios gets a lot of flack. I can still spend a whole entire day at the studios.
Oh,
yeah, totally agree. But I think it's more the room that they've got at the moment is that they want to move people out of that park, so it's not as busy.
Well,
Yeah.
that park is basically half shut at the moment, and because of that, there's not as much space. It's rammed, isn't it? Every time you see any footage from Hollywood Studios, it's so busy.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster, the queues for those two are just always insane now.
They're on borrowed time.
No.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No.
Make them
Rock
both
and Roller
over.
Coaster definitely is.
No.
Look, I love Rock and Roller Coaster and I love Aerosmith, but let's be honest, no one cares.
I care.
Yeah, but
Oh,
we've got
Matt-
CDs to listen to. It's fun.
You're going to literally run out of handcuffs, Amanda, because you'll be chaining yourself to everything in Orlando.
I know.
The good news though, is that because of where Guardians is, because of where the Tower of Terror is, and where Rock and Roller Coaster is, a man just needs one really big ass chain, and she can stand in the middle of both of them.
Yeah.
That is true.
Just getting tasered.
Now, there are a few things that we wanted to talk about tonight. I just want to point out, by the way, that's not Flynn.
Oh?
I'm not sure what the name of the dog is there, but
Okay,
it's not one.
I'm dog sitting and it won't show up.
There's nothing wrong with it. I just wanted to point out, like, Flynn's licking his paws next to me, being a quiet one for once.
Who's just doing a shout out for the dog you're sitting? Who is it?
She's called Luna and she's a German Shepherd and she's very loud.
Oh, I love German Shepherds. Dead clever, them.
Clever but noisy.
I prefer French farmers. So, yeah, so a few bits of news that have come in, and a topic that's actually been recommended to us as well. So, first of all, I don't think we touched on it last week, so I think it might have broken after we last recorded, but did anyone want to talk about the fact that there's a new Pirates of the Caribbean film that's being held to ransom by a pirate?
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
I think it's hilarious. That that's the film that's... Well, actually, have they actually confirmed that that's the film? Because I don't think Bob Iger's actually confirmed it. I think we've all assumed it.
No, they didn't. It was rumoured that it was, but it's never been confirmed.
Wait, the one that's just come out now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's coming out on Friday.
Oh, is it out in America already?
No.
Comes out
Oh,
this
people
Friday.
seen it then?
Well, there's been some previews of it. I mean, there was a preview last Sunday at Disneyland Paris when Johnny Depp came over. They had a screening there. They've had a few premieres, and I know that the embargo is up because I've seen some reviews of it today.
Yeah.
And actually, have you read any of the reviews, Paul?
I've read 3 good ones and 1 bad one.
Oh, you read a bad one, have you?
Yeah, Empire gave it 1 star.
Empire can go suck my knob. Not because of that, but their reviews can be so all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they gave either 4 or 5 stars to Attack of the Clones. And it was only like a couple of years ago they were like, yeah, maybe we was a bit over generous on that one.
I like Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I'd rather watch John Carter, which is what it's essentially a rip-off of. Yeah, no, you can't give a film like that 1 star. I'm not saying you have to love it, but 1 star seems to just be a bit of... People that do that, it seems to be they're doing it to try and make themselves look good or give a name to themselves.
Yeah, it seems to be that they think it's the in thing to do this a popular film, don't they?
There was a guy, I remember when Inside Out came out, and I think the week after it came out, it had like a 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and then somebody obviously took the opportunity to give it a negative review just to be that one person. And you thought, why do you have to be a dick? Like, that's not. You can say like, oh, it was okay, but you can't turn around and go, it was crap or something. Do you know what I mean? It just screams of attention seeking, and Empire seems to be the latest. I mean, the thing is, don't get me wrong, I could go and watch it and say I didn't like it, but I'm not going to give it a 1-star review. That just seems to be spiteful more than anything else.
Yeah, that seems really harsh.
Have you seen all the films, Amanda?
No.
Good.
Oh, I loved them all.
I mean, Curse of the Black Pearl is great.
Yeah.
I actually quite enjoy the second one, actually, which a lot of people don't. But
I like the second one.
I didn't like is it At World's End was the third one?
Yeah, At World's End was the worst of the four so far.
It just seemed to really, really drag for some reason. And I didn't really like 4 either. It had its moments.
Right.
Yeah, it was an improvement, but it sounds like this one is more in tone to the Curse of the Black Pearl. And I've conflicting reports on people saying it rounds up the series nicely, but it also leaves the door open for further sequels. So I don't know what the game plan is.
Does.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the game plan is with that. But I think
the trailers have all sold it as the final begins. So they've obviously planned that there's going to be more. And Depp's been interviewed and says that he's going to carry on playing him.
Well, I imagine Depp would carry on playing him, if nothing else, at Great Ormond Street Hospital.
Yeah.
To be honest, do you know what I mean? Like, I think that's or at Disneyland. I think he'll always find an excuse to play Captain Jack, even if it's not in a Pirates of the Caribbean film. But interestingly, talking about franchise and stuff like that, I know it's not really Disney related, but they've come out today and announced the Universal. Is it Dark?
The Dark Universe.
Dark Universe, which is being kicked off with The Mummy in a couple of weeks' time, the new Tom Cruise film, and it's going to be featured around. What's his face? Who's the bloke that likes chucking telephones and fighting around the world with his boat Tugger? Russell Crowe.
Yes.
So Russell Crowe is going to be the linchpin for these films, and it's going to be a whole host of Universal monster films based on the classic monsters. And he's playing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, isn't he? And he's going to be the character that kind of keeps these worlds all together, which will eventually lead into like a kind of Avengers-like thing with Universal monsters. And Johnny Depp has been cast in that.
Are they going to bring Abbott and Costello back?
Yes, as zombies, much like the wrestlers that we talked about on Pop After Dark that time. But I didn't know. Did you know that Johnny Depp was going to be playing the Invisible Man?
Yeah, he's been rumoured for about 2 years.
Oh, okay, because that was the first I'd heard that he was doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with that, and also obviously he's going to be in the next Fantastic Beasts movie as well. He's going to be a busy lad for film franchises for the next few years.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, he's literally going to go, because the Invisible Man's not actually in the next film, weirdly. The one that they haven't cast is next, and that's the Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, is that the next one?
Yeah, that's out 2019.
Yeah, I just assumed I saw that was out in February 2019. I just assumed that there was going to be one in between, but
no, apparently not.
Wow. Okay. I mean, the only thing that bothers me a little bit is we've had 2 film franchises this year announce this series of sequels that were going to be coming along, and both of them are bombed so hard that I don't think we're going to see even a sequel for either of them, let alone a series of films.
What's the figures for both of them? It's King Arthur and Power Rangers, is it?
You read my mind, Craig. Power Rangers, last time I looked, I think had made about 130 million globally.
How much did it cost to make?
About 75, I think, or 90 million, something like that. You've got to remember, for a film to be seen as successful, it has to make at least 3 times its budget.
Yeah.
And King Arthur, I'm not sure what the figures are, but I'm sure its production budget was 175 million. It was huge.
And it didn't even get to number one.
Not only did it knock Guardians off the top, but I think it only opened to about 30 million or something. I mean,
and
it's
that, of
bombed.
course, links back to Disney. Yeah, that links back to Disney because Guy Ritchie's directing Aladdin.
Well, he's definitely not going to be directing the sequel to King Arthur.
No, Guy Ritchie directing a musical live-action version of Aladdin.
Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath.
I cannot... it's such a missed opportunity for them not to cast Jason Statham as Aladdin. Here, can I nick one of those apples, Governor? I would literally watch Jason Statham in anything. In fact, if they turn around tomorrow... Yeah, if they turn around tomorrow and say that the Bride of Frankenstein is going to be played by Jason Statham, I'm all in.
I'd cry.
Take my money.
Oh.
Jason Statham as Aladdin and Vinnie Jones as Jafar.
Jason Statham. Right, for anyone that's listened to this that doesn't think that's a good idea, I refer you to watch Fast and Furious 8 or The Fate of the Furious, depending where in the world you are, and also Spy. He's the best thing in both of those films, and the funniest. He's amazing, and I have a bit of a man crush on him. But I mean, I suppose it for Disney, that's probably a good thing that King Arthur's flopped so hard. But I think we're seeing a real shift because this summer, the only films that seem to have done well so far have been sequels. Every kind of original IP has flopped. I know Power Rangers obviously had its history, but this was seen as a reboot of that franchise, and it's flopped. King Arthur's flopped. So I'm really...
Is King Arthur the one that has Charlie Hunnam in it?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, completely bombed.
Really?
Yeah. But, you know, The Mummy comes out on the 9th of June in the UK. I'm not sure about America. I think it might be the same kind of time. But, you know, again, Universal announced that this is going to be part of a franchise. The difference with this compared to the other films we've talked about is the fact that Universal have announced a cast for all this kind of stuff. Whilst with these films, they just talked about the fact this was going to be the first of many. So I think Universal have a lot more faith in The Mummy. But, you know, Guardians is still doing pretty damn well. You know, Pirates of the Caribbean is projected to do well. So it's coming out quite close to a busy season. You know, I wonder how well The Mummy's going to do.
You must be confident The Mummy's going to do something with them announcing all these films.
It looks bloody good. It does look good. And to be honest, I mean, although King Arthur didn't look terrible, I didn't really I had the chance to go and see an early preview of it with my pass. So it was going to cost me $3.
What did the Great Wall of China thing do?
It didn't do great, but it did pretty well in China, of course. So it wasn't a bomb, but it bombed pretty much in America, but it did well globally. Because that's the thing nowadays. The thing is, like, it was always what happened at the US box office mattered. Now, it's actually worldwide gross is becoming more and more important. So
yeah, totally.
it has to be big. You know, it has to be big somewhere. If it's not America, it's not the biggest deal, but it has to be big somewhere else. So it's an interesting season, and of course, Alien has just come out, and that's kind of flopped as well.
Aww.
The new Alien film.
Cars 3 is going to smash it out the park, then, isn't it?
Well, that's what I mean. Cars 3 comes out 2 weeks after The Mummy. Yeah. So it hasn't got a massive window where it's not got... Because that's going to, as you say, I think that's going to really nail it. So it better have a good couple of weeks.
And Wonder Woman?
Oh, God. When does that come out? It comes out on the
2nd of June, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Mummy's got some competition then, because Wonder Woman's getting some really good reviews.
And all the ladies on the planet are going to watch that. It's girl power. My girls are desperate to go and see a female superhero.
I mean, to be fair, it does look pretty good. It does look pretty good. I will give it that, if nothing else.
So, Disney news anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right, we've got to do a time out here. Pause the podcast, go onto YouTube, and go and visit our new vlogger.
we forgot the fact that Mr. D was so corporate, even on holiday, that he talked about the vlogger before we did. So we didn't mention it. We again, it's something we didn't mention on the last show, but we now have 2 vloggers that are going to be pushing out content on our YouTube channel.
Yeah. Coming live, well, not live, you know what I mean, from Orlando and the Orlando area. And it's basically theme parks. And we've just asked, because you know what us Brits are like, we're a little bit weird. We love Americans walking around Walmart or buying a coffee in Starbucks or eating a burger in Casey Joe's Fatball Corner or whatever it's called.
What?
Some restaurant Craig's made up.
Just made it up. It sounds boss. Casey Jones Fatball Corner. If anyone can do a poster for that, I'd really appreciate it. I want it on a t-shirt. I really want to see those fingers. So the 2 boys, Jason and Luke. Luke has just put his content out. He was at Universal over the weekend, and I've had to watch the vlog, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's everything that we asked for. It's just good. It's just boss. I loved it. And Jason is editing his from the content that he made on Saturday, so his is going to be out soon.
That's from Spiffy Saturday at Universal.
Yeah.
Wait, do you know what Spiffy Saturday is?
No.
It's basically, it's pretty new. It's like a Universal version of Dapper Day.
Oh.
So what's it called? Spiffy what?
Spiffy Saturday.
So it was Jason there?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just breaking all the records tonight.
Smashing it.
Boom.
Smashing it. So they can do that. They are up on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, the After Dark Podcast Network.
YouTube, and also on our page as well, I think.
Yeah, I've put them out on Twitter and Facebook. In the words of Adam Buxton, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe.
Also, if you could do that for our podcast, that'd be great.
Oh yeah,
like
do
and
that
subscribe
as well.
that. And also, if you're subscribed, unsubscribe, and then resubscribe, bumps our numbers up. We got up to about 17 last week in the podcast.
Universal After Dark got up to number 16 in the UK Places and Travel chart. Boom.
Oh,
yeah.
That was exciting.
Yeah, very much. So thank you to our audience there. Right. So was there any other news, Craig, or did you want to go on to the kind of topic that got?
I have some breaking news.
Oh,
It's very exciting. So for all those people that ask when the 3 o'clock parade is, it's no longer the 3 o'clock parade.
Say what?
It's now the 2 o'clock parade.
Oh, that's going to burn my head out.
Is this because of something to do with, like, daylight savings time?
I don't know. It just says from August the 20th, the time will be brought forward to 2 o'clock.
But
how very random.
We'll push back, surely.
Did it used to be 2 o'clock in the 80s or something?
God knows. But then this could possibly link into the fact that there's rumours that Paint the Night is on its way. So could it be that they're bringing the daytime parade forward so they can fit in Paint the Night later on?
Maybe, yeah. But I did read a thing earlier as well that what's the dancey kind of thing that they do there now in Magic Kingdom? Move it, shake it.
Parade. Yeah, move it, shake it. That's it.
That the times of that have all moved forward a little bit too, and that's because of Happily Ever After. So it could be a knock-on effect, maybe.
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, all those people that got tattoos that say that the 3 o'clock parade are going to be screwed, aren't they?
Have people actually got tattoos?
Oh, come on. I guarantee somebody out there will have a tattoo about the 3 o'clock parade. Think of the amount of people there are in the world and the amount of people that like Disney parks and stuff like that. I'd be shocked if no one has that tattoo. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want there to be someone that has that tattoo, but...
Well, because you've got one, Nick. Is that why?
Yes, I want to be the only one.
Copying.
That's it, exactly. I I want them to innovate, not replicate. Please send us your Disney tattoos to our Facebook page.
Please, yeah. That would be boss.
I've seen some excellent tattoos actually already, like that, but not on our Facebook page. So please send yours in. We do like to see them. But if that's all the news that we have for this week, we had a comment on our Facebook page which kind of piqued our interest and started a little bit of a debate. So I thought that we should bring it to the table and just kind of see where it goes. So this is from Steve Wilson. Not TV Steve Wilson, another Steve Wilson.
Is he a wrestler?
I don't believe he is a wrestler.
Is he a dead wrestler?
He's definitely not a dead wrestler.
I'm not interested.
To my knowledge. But he said, has anyone experienced line rage in Disney? He said, we did stay after many visits and on living seas with Nemo of all places. I'll read this verbatim because I do like the language used in this actually. Guy was fanning around with his uncontrollable kids, leaving a 50-foot gap in front. We ambled by knowing he would eventually catch back up with his wife and there'd be no issue, or so he thought. Angry fucker kicked off loudly. Lion cutters. Calm down, bud, but he was just a total knob and a great example to his kids. So, Steve followed it up. Craig replied first, because it's Craig. And then he suggested that we did a thing on the show about things at Disney and Universal that piss us off. And he gave some suggestions, and these are things that affect him. So we'll go through these, and then we'll kind of go individually. There's things that we can add to this list. But he doesn't like Americans overusing the term awesome. Anyone using the term you want to go potty, especially when not talking to toddlers. Being deliberately bashed by pushchairs, ECVs, etc. And anyone lifting up a 12-inch iPad to film fireworks.
Oh, yeah, the iPad thing really annoys me.
That's his list of pet peeves. Does anyone not agree with the iPad thing?
Oh, totally agree with it.
They're just so annoying.
I just don't see the point. I mean, if little Jeremy needs to be entertained with an iPad, so be it. But keep it. It literally lights up everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, but there was a woman walking around Universal last week with. It was bigger than an iPad. I think it was like some kind of Samsung tablet. It was huge. And she was walking around filming around the park. I was like, what the hell?
What's amazing as well, though, is that we now live in an age where a Handycam, as they used to be branded by Sony, now actually does fit exactly in your hand. It's only slightly larger than the average hand. So they don't take up any kind of room or anything like that. They're very discreet, actually. And you can film with one of those, get much better picture quality, and it doesn't obscure anyone's view.
Mm-hmm. But she's walking around with this big tablet, and she's not even looking at, like, the real world. She's looking at everything through the tablet. Because it's so big and it's just in front of her face.
I think that's how people interact with each other now anyway.
It blew my mind.
But we're proving that, aren't we, really?
Yeah.
I suppose.
It's the future. If you watch Adam the Woo and he meets up a load of other vloggers, none of them make eye contact with each other. They're all holding their iPhones up in front of each other's faces and they're talking to their audience and trying to talk to each other as well. It's bizarre.
Do you... I think they should introduce a law in all theme parks that the only person that can walk around with a tablet is Moses.
Fair enough.
Is that right? I haven't read the Bible. Was it Moses with the tablet?
He had two, I think.
Moses.
Did anybody see Tim Tracker's video when they went to the Holy Land?
Oh, it's genius.
Oh, sounds like one I need to watch, to be honest. That sounds like a right treat. Yeah, Moses with the tablet in the study. Right, so awesome. Are there any American phrases like that make your skin crawl?
George.
No, I like all the American phrases.
I don't mind them, to be honest. What I do, I don't take offence, but it puts me out of my comfort zone. I'm comfortable talking to you lot, but if you ask me to tap dance, I couldn't tap dance. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't do it for an audience. I can't turn it on. But Americans just introduce themselves to you. So literally in 2001, I walked into the Magic Kingdom, turned left to use the toilets, and I'm standing at the urinal with little Big Craig in my hand having a whiz. And the fella next to me having a whiz as well introduces himself.
Did he like stick his hand out for a handshake?
No. He had hold of his Johnson, and it was literally, "Oh, hey, I'm Tony from Illinois," or whatever he was. "Where are you from?" Because I was like milk bottle white with my bum bag on and my Bermuda shorts.
Your fanny pack.
And I'm like, "Nice one, mate. Yeah, I'm Craig from Liverpool." And it was, "Oh, nice to meet you." Like this, you know, we're both whizzing. Weird. And then, like, you're in a queue, and you're queuing, like you're in the Tower of Terror queue or whatever, and just some American girl will go, "Oh, hey, so where are you from?" And you're like, "Liverpool. Where are you from?" "Oh, we drove for 18 hours from New York. We didn't stop all the way, and we're here now, and we just got here, and it's amazing." And you're like, "Okay, we don't talk to anyone in England, do we? You don't walk up and down the streets of London, Liverpool, Newcastle, or anywhere, just talking to randoms, do you?"
I like that, though. I don't think it's an American thing. I think it's just a Disney and, I guess, Universal type thing.
Mm.
Everyone's just friendly to each other because everyone's there to do the same thing, and I like that.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. I think it depends. You know what? Where I moved to, the first thing I noticed was that people started to talk to you. Like, I'd be queuing up in a shop and someone would turn around and start talking to me about my kids or asking me how my day was. And at first I was really confused because living near London, I mean, I don't live that far away from London now, but I live further out, and being near London for, 5 days a week in central London as well, you just didn't speak to anybody unless you actually knew them. Whilst, there, it seems to, like where I am now, it seems to be quite common for you to just start randomly talking to people. And it's quite nice, but at first it's very disconcerting when you're not used to it. Well, I think it's where you're from, because to be honest, most of us live in cities, and quite large cities, or near large cities. So I think it does depend on where you're from, because if you go out to the country, for example, you do tend to get people a bit more friendly to you. But it's definitely odd for us.
Yeah, I grew up in a tiny little village.
I've moved from a city to a seaside town, and I feel like that's not true. I feel like people are much more friendly in Liverpool.
I don't think anyone's friendly in Liverpool.
Me and Craig are dead friendly.
We're dead friendly, and we'll knock you out, you little blade. I can be down in your end of the world in 2 hours, 2 hours, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, how you travel, yeah. Certainly. What do you think, Paul? Do you think they're just boss? Trying to speak their language.
Yeah, don't even try. No one else will understand you, so it's fine.
So, you want to go potty. It's a bit cringe, isn't it? Potty.
Yeah, especially for the...
I've never even said that to my kids, to be honest. He was always trying to go toilet.
You're going for a piss, basically. Yeah.
Although, I mean, of course, it could have been worse. It could have been, "Do you want to go to the John?" I'll never get used to that one.
I haven't heard that for a long time.
No, I don't think it's very common now, to be honest. But yeah, the first time I heard that was quite strange. Does anyone else really hate being hit by pushchairs or ECVs?
The ECVs or whatever they are, they burn my head out. I mean, Grandad has to have one when we go, and he just plows through people. It's funny to watch, but it's horrendous as well.
Mm.
Do you know it? Because everyone who's on one because God bless them, they're buggered somehow. They can't walk, or they're lazy, or well, they're not lazy, but you know what I mean. Grandad's had a new knee and he's got a gammy knee, so he can't walk. But if they sat there and was polite and let people pass, they would never move anywhere, because nobody stops to let an ECG go, do they? Do you know what I mean? So, and occasionally they do have little collisions, and occasionally Grandad will put a grandchild on his knee and let the grandchild drive it, and the grandchild will turn it up to full speed, and he literally goes, whoa, and off he goes.
Yeah,
I don't have such a problem with the ECVs, because I feel like everyone's kind of courteous. Well, I'd hope that everyone's kind of courteous enough that, you know, if you realise that an ECV and your group of 10 people aren't both going to fit through together, they'd let the ECV go through first. But it's the pushchairs. There's always some mom that's absolutely fuming about life, and she's just raging through Magic Kingdom with a stroller, and she's just going to take everyone out. And I'm only little, so the amount of times I get attacked by pushchairs is ridiculous.
You should literally just hire a pushchair and get pushed around.
I should.
You could probably pretend. Yeah, I can imagine that. But the pushchair thing, I mean, I get it, and I think we've all been there. But when you then are in a position where you have to push a pushchair, I have caught people, rarely, but I have done it. I always apologise, to be fair. Like, I never bump into someone and not do it if I know I've done it. But sometimes that can be a bit of a bugger to steer. So yeah, you might do that. But I do know that you do see those people that, as you say, Amanda, are kind of on a bit of a mission and clearly have no regard for anyone else and just want to get straight through people as quickly as possible.
That's it. I mean, I've had situations where I've been just stood maybe outside of a shop or something like that. Maybe I was waiting for Ash, and I've just been stood still for a few minutes, and then a woman has rammed into me with her pushchair and then shouted at me.
Yeah,
like it was my fault.
How dare you be in the way of a pushchair?
Exactly. I was like, are you being real? Like, you can clearly see that I'm standing here. You've walked into me on purpose. And she's like, it's your fault. Why didn't you move out of my way? And I'm like, what?
Oh.
Entitled.
A Kirby kiss, girl. Boom.
You've been hit by a pushchair. I knew he was going to do that. I put Pushchairatron 3000. Our friend Wendy Pratter, her second mention of the show tonight, said people who can't walk straight. Trying to go around them, but they keep weaving in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to be honest, that isn't a Disney thing for me. That is an everyday life thing. And again, that comes down to a city thing. Because
meandering.
Well, I don't know if anyone has ever been... I'll say that. I know a few people would have done. But Oxford Street was the worst for this in London.
Oh, God.
Oxford Street is a massive, very famous, very busy street in London town. Home to one of the biggest Disney stores as well, and it is notorious for people just stopping dead to try and get their bearings. But
that's what's getting on my wick at the moment massively, is people just stopping in front of you.
That's the thing. Like, we've all been in that position where, oh, hang on a second, what do I need to do now? Or have I gone past where I need to go? Whatever it is. But if I'm going to stop, and maybe it's just me, but if I'm going to stop, I look behind me first to see what's going on, so that if I'm in the way of people, I make sure I'm out of that situation. I don't just stop dead and wait for someone to plough into the back of me. But people don't. And the other one that gets me, slow walkers. Now, there was a Change.com petition a few years ago about making Oxford Street into 2 lanes. A fast lane and a slow lane for pedestrians, and I was all for it because I just need to plough down Oxford Street sometimes. If I'm normally in a rush if I'm going down there. I might be on a lunch break or something like that, or I might just want to get home but need to stop off somewhere first. I will plough down that street, and I have to weave in and out of people. Saying that can be quite a fun game as well. You can pretend you're like in a police car or something and pretend you've got a steering wheel and weave in and out of people. But people just walk so slow bugged the shit out of me. Really, really bothers me. First world problem? Possibly. But even so.
It's like you're approaching the person in the rear and you're gauging, aren't you? Shall I overtake them on the left? Shall I overtake them on the right? And it's like
they walk in the middle.
It's like they're a magnet, you're a magnet, and as you go to try and go round them to the right, they'll walk in front of you. Boom.
Yep. Another one that Steve had said was people to recite the entire spiel of a show loudly.
Oh, yeah, but who doesn't do that?
Well,
There's
everyone
a great,
except you.
Big, beautiful tomorrow, shining at the end of every day.
You know what? The only thing I'm glad in life for, Craig, is that we're not going to a theme park together anytime soon, and one where you could recite shows if we was both on them at the same time.
I'm not being funny, mate. It's part of the holiday. We sit front and centre and we sing our little hearts out. And then It's a Small World. I
obviously avoided It's a Small World the other week because I didn't go to Disneyland Paris with my wife, but they were I think they were back. I think it was the week after they were back. I got sent into the Entertainer toy shop. Other toy stores are available to try and get something for my daughter for her upcoming birthday. And while I was in there shopping, It's a Small World came on the loudspeaker.
Why?
Exactly. Well, because I imagine they've got a CD of kids songs, and it's just on there.
That's weird.
Because you do. I've seen It's a Small World on kids compilations before.
Have you?
So yeah. It's quite a popular song, in like for that kind of thing. But it's still weird when you hear it out of context. And it was a proper version. It was sung in all the different languages and everything. So, you know,
you could imagine like a horror film, and it's like the Seven Dwarfs go rogue and start killing everyone. And they have like Johnny Cash singing It's a Small World After All as they're macheting everyone's ankles. Don't you reckon that'd be boss?
I'm not sure we could get Johnny Cash to sing it, which is a shame. But other than that, yes.
George Michael then.
I think he might be busy.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Oh, guys.
I think
John Lennon.
Busy.
Oh, it's like the Dead Wrestlers all over again.
Yeah, how'd you reanimate a corpse?
Elvis.
He's left the building. Oh, sorry, Flynn, did I just disturb you? Growl at me.
Who did he disturbed?
Disturbed a dog. I moved my leg and he didn't like it, so he jumps off in disgust and he's gone into his bed. Good, that's your bed. You're lucky I let him sit next to me while I'm recording. So, with that in mind, was there any other things that bother you in theme parks?
I've told my story before about that fight I nearly had at Fantasmic. So people that cut through groups of people, that split groups of people up as they're trying to walk.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
What does my head in is literally what's happened to what was his name again?
John Lennon.
Stewart.
Oh.
No, he got shot. What's the fella who's brought this up? This whiskey's gone right to me head. The boss.
Steve Wilson.
Steve, yeah.
Yeah.
You're in a 40-minute queue, and he's obviously walking slow, and you overtake him. It's irrelevant. Do you know what I mean? But he's been offended. That burns me head out. It doesn't. I like to walk slow because then you have the illusion that you're always moving.
Yep.
And you can hear the people. You can feel the daggers in your back. Get over yourself. Anyone who's behind me, right, is a freaking bunch of knobheads. Get behind me, or I'll knock you out. I'm like 6'5". I'm a monster. I'll just rip your head off. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh God.
Craig switched it up and gone violent.
I know.
I think I think my biggest bugbear, there's probably a couple, but my biggest one is when you're queuing for the parade and you've been queuing for like an hour, got your spot and you're all nice and comfortable and everything's all right, and in 5 minutes before the parade starts, people try and cut in front of you.
Oh, that drives you to distraction.
Yeah. Now, I'm not talking about, because, I think we've all been in situations, I certainly have, both pre and post having my own kids, where somebody's come up before the parade started and said, look, do you mind if my kid just goes in front of you and we'll just stand here watching them? No problem with that at all. I don't mind that, because at the end of the day, if a family's got there late to see a parade or something, the kids ain't going to see squat. The adults will. They'll be able to look over people or in between gaps. The kids probably won't be able to. So I've got no problem letting kids in front of me, as long as the parents are nearby. Because once we was in Disney World, and we were standing there. We'd been there for quite a while, and just as the parade was starting, a few minutes before the parade started, family came up to us and said, "Oh, would you mind if our kids go in front of you?" And we said, "Oh yeah, that's no problem." And they're like, "Okay, we'll see you in 20 minutes." I was like, "Whoa, no! If you want your kids to stay here in front of us and watch the parade, you were standing behind us." They were actually going to leave the kid with us.
Wow.
I was like, "No, it's not happening." One, we weren't parents at that point, so we had no idea what to do. But secondly, like, I know it's supposed to be a safe place, anything like that is, but I wouldn't dream of leaving my kids with strangers to watch a parade. That just seems ludicrous to me. So in the end, they stayed behind us. But so people that actually try and push in front of you during a parade.
Can you still get fast passes for the fireworks and the parades?
Don't believe so.
So why have they done away with them?
They're now the VIP areas, I believe.
So how do you get into them?
Well, I assume, like you, your dining packages.
Yeah, okay. Well, they're a bit more profitable for them than just getting a fast passer.
Exactly.
Personally, I would never, ever, ever use a fast pass for fireworks or a parade.
But Mandy, you're 4 foot nothing. You need to be at the front to see it.
No, like I'd rather miss out on the parade than use a fast pass for it.
But if it's the end of the night and there's an hour to the parade and you go and have a look and there's a fast pass available, which is irrelevant now because they don't do them anymore, I would do it.
Yeah, but we don't live in that kind of world now. We have to book our fast passes before we go.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
So realistically, and really, they're the first fast passes that go. Anyway.
Do you think?
Yeah. I've never got onto my Disney experience and seeing that there's been a Wishes fast pass.
Wishes.
Wow.
Wishes. Yeah. Oh, we never heard Amanda sing Wishes.
Oh, you know what? Actually, in the video that I'm editing tomorrow to put up, maybe tomorrow or the day after, I think I mentioned something and I might sing a bit of Wishes.
Oh, be like a little angel sent from heaven.
My first video is going to be split into two because it was really long, so I don't know whether it was in the beginning of it or near the end of it.
Just give us a little, just sing Wishes now, go on.
No, mate, I'm too sick.
Oh, you can't sing. You're one of them, aren't you? You can't sing.
I'm very bad at singing, but I sing all day, every day, because I don't care. Because car karaoke and regular karaoke are my two favourite things in life.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
I'm really loving Oh Sherry by S.T.R.I.K.E.
Oh God, I've never heard of that song.
I love that. That's my favourite song to sing ever. And if it's not that, it's usually Cher and Meatloaf.
Cher and Meatloaf?
Yeah.
What did they do?
I forgot what it's called. 1 second, I'll find it.
Because I love Meatloaf. One of mine is...
Dead Ringer for Love.
Oh, Dead Ringer for Love. Dead Ringer for Love. Dead Ringer for Love.
I never remember what it's called, though. So it's like that Cher and Meatloaf one, then I have to just do the tune.
I love Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Yeah, I love that. I love Meatloaf.
Oh God, I'd love to do. If ever our paths cross at Universal or any time, Amanda, we're doing that.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's just do it.
I have to do meatloaf though. You have to be sure.
I'm up with that.
Okay.
I love it. What's your? Can you sing, Mr. Dubs? P Dubs? Dubs in the house.
A little bit.
Go on. What's your?
I tend to lean towards Your City and Beatles.
Oh God, yeah. I could sing the Beatles all day long. The Scousers are born literally singing Beatles songs.
Yeah, that's true.
It's funny. I was born to the sound of Bow Bells, and he was born to the sound of the Beatles. Different cultures, different worlds. I used to do a lot of karaoke, and my go-tos were things like Linkin Park. I used to do a duet with my mate, and I would do the we would do In the End, and I would do the not the I can't remember who's who in Linkin Park, but I would do the guy that sings first, who would kind of do like the background bits and then sing the chorus. That would be me, and my friend would do the kind of rappier bits in between. And I also used to do Mysterious Girl with a guy called Horace. Right? Now, Horace was a 60-plus-year-old man from the Caribbean who had moved over a few years before and lived in my old town, and he would always ask me if I would duet with him. He was too scared to go up on stage by himself, so I'd go and duet. He would sing Mysterious Girl as Peter Andre, and I would do Bubba Ranks.
No way.
Yeah. I used to love it. I used to find it hysterical.
We need to do an episode where all we do is sing everything.
We really don't. We really don't. I used to be a good singer, but I've not sung karaoke in years. My vocal has gone to shot now.
Just after dark, mate up.
Yeah.
We'll meet at a karaoke bar. We'll hire out a lucky voice box or something. But yeah. Cool. Was there anything else that anyone wanted to talk about?
Did you guys already talk about the universe of energy?
Well, the rumours.
Oh, the plans have been put in, haven't they, or something like that?
Yeah, I just saw them, I think, yesterday.
We haven't talked about it, no, because it's literally hot off the press.
It's yeah. I mean, the plans don't reveal anything, do they? But I mean, the rumor for a long time has been that they're going to do something Guardians of the Galaxy in there. The plans
just show that it's a really, really big area that they're working with.
It's huge, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a big building it's in, but I can't believe they would keep the attraction as it is. Like, the technology is just crap, innit?
I like Ellen's Energy Adventure.
I did it the first time I ever went, and I have no interest in ever doing it again. I can barely remember it, to be honest. Is it just a load of you watching screens?
There's a few animatronics and that, but you can have a really good sleep in there.
Yeah, it almost sent me to sleep.
Yeah, the animatronics, pre-lesbian Ellen.
Yeah.
Well, pre-out lesbian Ellen.
Yeah.
Pretty sure she was a lesbian before she came out. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be sad to see it go, and I think Epcot is an area that does need a bit of an injection. You know, obviously Frozen's been very popular, but it was Frozen; it was always going to be popular. But it definitely needs some more attractions there, doesn't it?
Well, a lot of people have been saying that they think it's going to be a roller coaster of some type because of the huge space that it'll be taking up.
I'm up with that.
I'm so ready for a roller coaster at Epcot.
Yeah, totally. Epcot needs some love. It's almost becoming. I've seen people now ripping people for drinking around the world. So is that going to be out of vogue? Because I've never done it before. We're doing it this year
with the kids.
With the kids, yeah.
Never too young. I don't know. I think I would. I don't know about that. I mean, I think it's become a more popular thing. But do you get many people behaving like idiots around there, other than the people that pull meats? Or
I think food and wine you tend to. I mean, we're not going. We won't do it. You know what I mean? We're going to try and do it, but it's going to be too hot in August to do it.
What, you're not going to do food and wine?
Well, no, it literally starts the day, I think, before we fly home.
Oh, what? Food and wine's my favourite thing ever.
I'm desperate to do it, but it's one of them things where I could do it in September when I'm there for the weekend.
Not really.
But I've always promised I want to do it with my wife. So,
Amanda, you can keep one thing: food and wine or ET.
ET.
Well, you just say it's your favourite thing ever.
Well, other than like a ride.
Or a park.
What's your favourite Disney ride, Amanda?
Tower of Terror.
Oh, Tower of Terror or ET?
ET. Listen, I'll pick ET over anything.
ET or your left arm?
ET.
ET or your right arm?
My right arm.
You'd keep your right arm?
Yeah, because I'm right-handed, so I
We found our weakness.
You better keep your eye on that right arm, girl.
Please, no, I've got my right arm off. It's the right thing.
Left arm.
But, I mean, is anyone bothered to see Ellen go? That's the question.
No. I enjoy it. I enjoy everything. It's the old. Like I say this about everything. It's the only place on the planet you can see Ellen's energy adventure.
That is very true. I'll always be sad to see any attraction go.
Correct.
But I'm excited to see what they're going to put there instead.
Again, correct.
Yes.
Epcot is my least favourite park of the four. Fun, absolute country mile.
Right, come on, let's get right, Amanda. Put your four in order. Worst at the bottom.
Okay, so my number one's Epcot.
Okay.
Number 2 is MGM.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Magic Kingdom, and number 4 is Animal Kingdom.
P-dubs.
Hollywood Studios number 1.
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom number 2. Animal Kingdom 3. Epcot 4.
Nicholas.
Poor. God. I know what my 3 and 4 are. It's the top 2 that's bothering me. I will say Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Epcot, Animal Kingdom.
And mine is Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom. That's quite interesting, that little bit of insight into how our brains work.
It was a tough one because I mean there are attractions I love at Hollywood Studios, but the Magic Kingdom's the Magic Kingdom. I can immerse, I feel more immersed there than any other park. I don't have to go on attractions there to enjoy everything. Whilst in Hollywood Studios, it doesn't have that same magical feeling. It's really well themed, but there's just nowhere like, at Disneyland. Nowhere. So that's why it pipped it. But on rides, then it probably would have been Hollywood Studios. And once Star Wars Lands opens.
I love Magic Kingdom, obviously. Like, I really, really love Magic Kingdom. But I feel like if I went to Disney and I didn't ride Tower of Terror, I wouldn't feel like I'd been to Disney.
So would you still make a beeline for Tower of Terror when it's rethemed to Guardians of the Galaxy?
I literally don't want that to ever happen, so no.
Has anyone heard any of the reviews, by the way, of Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout?
No, I did see the sign outside, though. The sign looks pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I like the sign, actually.
I'm sure I've heard that it's pretty good, actually.
I've heard nothing but rubbish.
Oh, right, okay.
But the reason for that is allegedly, and again, this is only from. There's only been a few reviews out because there was some kind of preview the other week, but it wasn't a paid for preview, so I'm not sure how people got on it. But I saw a few reviews, but what they said is that everything now is screens. There's no physical props. Now, I don't remember there being that many physical props in the Tower of Terror in Disneyland Paris. I'm trying to think of what they're talking about. Magic Kingdom one's different. Well, I wouldn't say they're props, but because of the fifth dimension, there's that element as well. But they say it's very screen-based. And from what I understand as well, there's 6 songs, isn't there? There's 6 songs you can hear on the ride. And only one of them is from the film, isn't it?
Yeah.
In fact, I think the song selection's really weird because aren't all the songs from like the 60s or like the late 60s, early 70s?
I believe so.
Which doesn't really keep in the choices in the films.
Yeah, James Gunn's obviously picked songs that he has no intention of ever using in the films.
Well, has he though?
Do
we know
the end of Guardians 2, spoilers, he gets round the fact that there's Volume 1 mixtape, there's Volume 2 mixtape, and he gets given a Zune.
Yeah.
So Volume 3, or whatever it's going to be, he'll be listening to a Zoom.
No one will.
Yeah, but I believe the ride's based during the first one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, because Groot's fully grown.
Yeah, he's based on well, it certainly looks that way because it's based. Well, I don't know actually. It's when you think about it, Paul, because
he's got to be fully grown again at some point.
Well, that's another spoiler from the second one, the end of the second one, isn't it? But
yeah,
I mean, by Infinity War, I think Infinity War he'll be back to being Groot, won't he?
They've said he's gonna be tween.
Okay, he's gonna be tween.
That's what they're calling him at the moment, and I think they said he's going to be kind of university college age.
Okay.
By the time Infinity War comes around.
Who plays him? Axl Rose in it?
Eh?
Who plays him? Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
What?
Axl, I always get them two mixed up.
Yeah, no, easily done. Easily done, yeah.
Vin Diesel has said, we have still not seen a fully grown Groot in the films.
No.
So there you go. So he's going to be massive and he's going to have big conkers.
But, so Paul, this is where I'm trying to work it out because am I not right in thinking in Volume 1, the collector's collection, what's it called, that place?
The Tyrion Collection.
Exactly
what he's calling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if the building was called something else. But I thought that building was destroyed.
It was, and this is now where he's moved it to.
So the thing is it so then could it be?
It's not set in film 1 then.
It won't be Volume 1. It'll be Volume 3.
No, they've said it's Volume 1.
Can't be. Groot's fully grown.
Yeah, he was still fully grown after the collector's original collection was destroyed. So it could be set in between that happening and the finale.
I think it's Volume 3.
They've said it's Volume 1.
I don't care what they say.
But aren't they sitting on a load of debris at the end of Volume 1? Howard the Duck sitting there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be interested how that makes an appearance, actually. But nevertheless, I mean, I still think it looks good. But what I was saying about the music is that you hear one song during your ride. So it's not a case of you hearing all six songs. A bit like when you go on Aerosmith, you hear your ride.
But isn't it something like 6 different scenarios as well? So you've got the re-rideability factor.
I don't know about that. But
little spoiler that I read about the queue is that they've used some of the unused characters from Captain EO.
Oh. Why?
Apparently in the queue. I don't know why, but apparently they're there.
I mean,
amongst the collection.
I would have got that if they were using the same building as Captain EO.
Yep.
But it seems a bit odd to put them in there. It's a nice Disney touch. Don't get me wrong, but just interesting. But yeah, apparently the theming inside the queue area is really good. I have heard that. So, and has anyone seen? I don't think we talked about it. Has anyone seen the meet and greet with Star-Lord?
Yeah.
The one at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
Baby Groot. Well, did you see the one in Disneyland?
No.
Star-Lord and full-size Groot.
Oh.
Yeah.
How's
so
the
they're
Groot?
mixing and matching.
How's the big Groot?
I've not seen it. I don't think it started yet. It's part of the once everything opens.
Right.
Part of the Summer of Heroes.
Oh yes, of course. It's the end of the month, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Starts this weekend.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, that'd be interesting. Yeah, because I thought it was quite cute for what it was. I didn't think he was a terrible Star-Lord. But the problem with such big characters in these things, especially ones that their face is exposed, is that it makes it more obvious when it's not that person.
I'm not being funny. Kylo Ren is perfect. He's got his mask on. He's got pre-recorded audio. It works. Star-Lord could have been exactly the same. He's got an iconic mask. Give him a few predetermined friggin' buttons that they press and he talks to you. Everyone wants to see Baby Groot anyway. He looks not unlike him. Chris Pratt is ripped. He's my man crush.
He's my man crush too.
Yeah, he's
my
man crush as well. Him and Stave.
I'm literally going to fight you, Amanda. He's mine.
I will fight you.
You bite me my ankles.
I liked him in Parks and Rec.
I liked him in Jurassic World.
I liked him in Parks and Rec. I only seen 2 episodes. He was dead funny.
He's brilliant in Parks and Rec. But the funny thing is, if you watch that, it's amazing. I never saw him in that and thought one day he's going to be the star of the biggest film franchises in the world.
He's a bit beefy, isn't he, in that, if I remember rightly?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very much so. But the thing is, it's not even the weight. It's just the fact that he's just so comical in it. You didn't really see him as being anything but like the funny sidekick or something. And he's funny in Jurassic World, and he's obviously really funny in the Guardians films. But it's not just a comic character. They're well rounded. It just shows that he's a really good actor. So, yeah. Special.
I still love him. I bagsy him.
I did say Stave first, so I've kind of backed myself into a Statham corner.
He's all over you, mate.
We're having a Paul's man crush. If we've all got to, have our man crushes, who's yours, Paul?
It's Johnny Depp. Always has been.
It's a good choice.
And I've met him. So.
What did you do? Did you cry like a girl or did you lick him?
Do you know what? It's one of those situations when you're at those film premieres that you're right at the barrier and they're literally inches away from your face. And you just don't know what to do because they are literally right there. And it's kind of like, it walks off and you just go, oh, that's it. He's gone.
He's gone from my life forever.
You look down at your picture and go, well, there's my bit of Johnny Depp.
Oh.
It's true.
Do you think he'll come on the show if we email him constantly?
Yes. I heard he's a big fan.
If we tell him that we've got a hospital that he needs to go and visit.
The Dis After Dark Hospital for the criminally insane.
We'll just tell him Jim Hill's coming on. That's all we'll do. That'll be enough.
Well.
Wishes. Right, in that case, I think we're probably done for this episode of Dis After Dark. And we've given you everything, dear listener. We've had beer. We've had a live call, the first live call from Pandora on a podcast. And we've had our man crushes.
And don't forget our vloggers. Go and like and subscribe on YouTube.
Don't forget the vloggers. And also like and subscribe this show. Thank you very much for listening. And we will see you probably next week. Not sure when Mr. D's back, but when he's back, we'll have a lovely trip report with him and a catch up, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Can't believe Craig
Next
stole
line.
that.
I've nicked yours. I'm sorry, mate. You say it now.
I said it last time.
Oh,
there you go.
We hope you've enjoyed this podcast. If you would like to support Dis After Dark and the other After Dark Network podcasts, please visit our website at www.patreon.com/Dis After Dark. That's patreon.com/Dis After Dark. Thank you. This podcast is part of the After Dark Podcast Network.